sorry to interrupt. But I'm gonna need to see some ID. ID. Now.
Of course.
Before we shut it down, I'm gonna talk about, of course, Charlie Kirk. Okay, Charlie Kirk got. mm, I want to use my words. I want to use my words wisely because I don't want to get. I don't want to get my. I don't want to get my video taken down. You have to basically walk on eggshells with this YouTube comment. They got so many trigger words that can get you. That can get your videos deleted. They got so many. But anyway, 2 days ago, September 10th, Charlie Kirk was at Utah Valley, and he was doing a tour event. You know, basically doing one of those prove me wrong, prove me wrong sit downs that he's known for. You've probably seen the videos that he's known for with Turning Point USA, and in the middle of speaking, literally in the middle of speaking, he got taken out with a sniper's bullet. Um, it it was about 200. They're saying it came from about 200 yards away. He was wearing a vest. I'm not gonna play the video on here because that would definitely get the video taken down. But he was wearing a vest, right? If he wasn't wearing that vest, in my opinion, that would have made his chances of living better because more than likely that bullet would have probably either went clean through and probably went through his shoulder or something like that. It would have probably went clean through, and he would have probably lived there. Would have made his chances of living better. But that bullet bounced off of the vest he was wearing and ricocheted and hit his neck, hit a vital artery, hit a vein, whatever. Died. Died. I don't know. He might not even made. They're saying he didn't die on the spot. They're saying he died at the hospital on the way there, but more than likely lost a lot of blood on the way there. But if he didn't, if in my opinion, if he wasn't wearing that vest, his chances of survival would have increased. You can see when you slow the video down when the bullet hits him, his shirt flies up when the bullet hits the vest and bounces back into his neck. That bullet would have went straight through. And he talks so much about black on black crime. The ironic thing is the suspect they're looking for right now is a white male. When he got shot, he was talking about black violence. He was talking about gang violence when that bullet hit him. That's the platform that he was always talking about. Mainly, he was always talking about blacks. He was always talking about gays. He was always talking about transgenders, Hispanics, minorities, pretty much as a whole. I mean, and it's looking like he got taken out by pretty much himself, a regular white male. And They're playing back videos. You can see someone on the rooftop. There's a video going around right now, a TMZ video, which is crazy. You know, TMZ got the video before authorities got it, CNN got it, or whatever, of a white male hopping off a roof and running away, and he's still on the loose. They had people in custody. They let them go. So those people that they had in custody weren't the people they're looking for. The first person they had was a older white guy. He didn't he definitely didn't scale a building and jump down and run away. I mean, if you saw the picture of this guy, but the picture they showed of the white of the guy that they're looking for right now, this guy looks between, he can't be no older than 30, if he's in his 30s at all. But this is a younger guy. To be able to hit a target from 200 yards away, this guy definitely has some type of military experience to be that proficient with a gun, with a rifle. We should dwindle it down, because so I would, if I'm going through, you know, marksman records between all the branches of the military, you can dwindle that down to everyone can't make a shot like that. So that should make the list very short, and you should be able to go from there. But as of right now, that person is still on the loose, and you have a lot of you have a lot of people still trying to make it about black people, trying to make it about Democrats. This is not a black issue. This is not a Republican or a Democrat issue. This guy got gunned down by a white person, by a white male. We don't know what his political allegiance is. We don't know why he shot Charlie Kirk. We may not never know. We we may not never know. So, and like I say, once again, this was at Utah. Give me 1 second. This was at Utah Valley University. I've never heard until 2 days ago. I never heard of that school. More than likely at some small campus. You know, never heard of it. But that was part of his American comeback tour. They only let off one shot. This wasn't a situation where, like the Trump situation, or that University of Texas clock tower situation back in the 60s or 70s, where that ex-Marine let off multiple shots in that tower. This person let off one shot, and he got it off and got away. This is movie type stuff, like Mark Wahlberg shooter type stuff like that. Uh, you ever seen that Keenan Ivory Wayans movie, Most Wanted? Like, this is crazy, but it's real life. like somebody actually died behind this stuff. The high-powered bolt action rifle, that's what they're assuming was used. But they can say it was politically or racially motivated right now. The FBI saying there's no motive identified right now. And the person in the video that they have running off, he's in all black clothing, and the shirt that he has on has like patriotic markings on it, like a red, white, and blue flag type logo on it, but you can't really make it out. But you just never know. You just never know. You just never know. And another thing people need to understand: a lot of people aren't fans of Charlie Kirk. Don't confuse people not mourning his death with people celebrating his death. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. It is not the same thing. There's a big difference. So I mean, you hear people don't, it's not the same. And a lot of people are intentionally being obtuse and ignorant to that. You can dislike a person and not and still not be celebrating their death. Especially when you acknowledge some of the hateful stuff that was being said. So I mean, we know some of the stuff that was said. So we're not gonna act like he didn't say it. So you can't expect people to sweep it under the rug. You got a lot of people like Officer Tatum, Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Jason Whitlock. They have some of the same viewpoints as Charlie Kirk. Everybody got a freedom of speech. No, and nobody shouldn't have to die because of freedom of speech. No, not at all. Matter of fact, everybody, I want you to be alive to get your dumb ass takes off. I don't want nobody to die behind getting their dumb ass takes off. Matter of fact, I want people like all those people I named and Donald Trump, among other people. I want all those people to live. And that's my thing. If you're a person that I don't agree with or a person that I dislike, I don't want bad things to happen to you. I want you to be around long enough to lose. I want you to lose. I want you to be around to take a loss. You can't take a loss if you're dead. So why would I want you to die? You can't take a defeat if you're dead. I get no joy. I get no joy in that. I get joy in seeing you take a loss. So why would I want to see you die? So that's crazy. Nobody's celebrating, or at least not me, celebrating a man's death. This goes back to the discussions we had on the recent podcast when Hulk Hogan passed away. People wasn't celebrating Hulk Hogan's death. But they wasn't mourning his death either. And if you think if you think it's bad on these social media sites with Charlie Kirk, it's people with way more sway and way more importance in the political world than Charlie Kirk, that if something bad happened to them, and I don't want to say the name, you know, something bad almost happened to them last year, you'll really see these sites melt, and you'll see people say out of pocket shit. So what you're seeing right now is nothing. This ain't shit. But you can't be upset because people aren't mourning the death of Charlie Kirk. All right, I got Grok opened up. Okay, here's some of the stuff, just real quick before I sign off. Here's some of the stuff Charlie Kirk said. 2023, he called Martin Luther King an awful person and not a good person. He said the Civil Rights Act of 1964 created a permanent bureaucracy that promoted diversity, equity, and inclusion, which was viewed negatively. He said Juneteenth is anti-American. He also said, okay, this was one thing that put him on the map. About the thing about the black pilots. Said if I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, hope he's qualified. He didn't make that same statement about a white pilot. He claimed that white individuals are more likely to be attacked by black individuals. There goes the two words people like to use, per capita, made in response to a 2025 murder case in Charlotte, North Carolina. This statement, and he's talking about the young lady that got killed on the train in Charlotte, and this happened the day before he was killed. He was talking about that. Um, he wanted to ban transgender healthcare. He's anti-abortion. He compared abortion to the Holocaust. He says abortion isn't medically necessary, not even in cases of rape. A woman should still have a baby in those type of situations. Uh, and he called COVID-19 the China virus, and finally he said, which is gonna really keep the conversation going. He said a couple if it takes a couple deaths, may be worth it to keep the Second Amendment going. It may take a couple deaths. I'll read it. Okay, some gun deaths were worth it to preserve the right to bear arms. It's worth having a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our God-given rights. Ironically, he died by firearms, and that's it. So I mean, it's that power of a tongue, power of the tongue, man. They say it's powerful. So we haven't put out any content in a while. I just want to talk about that since that's in the news. Um, Hopefully tomorrow night we can get the whole crew on. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, but I just wanted to get that out there to talk about. I just wanted to give my opinion on it, but the rest of the crew should be on tomorrow. We got a lot to talk about. We got a National Guard in DC and Baltimore. The National Guard about to pull into Chicago. You never know. National Guard might come into Charlotte. And none of that shit is cool. We got a lot to talk about. Um, got a lot of college football going on this week. Georgia playing Tennessee on Saturday, so we got to talk about that. But appreciate y'all listening in. But we should be back on either Friday night or Saturday afternoon. Appreciate y'all for listening.
You can be anything you want to be. Remember, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. You could have all the talent in the world, but if you don't do the right thing, then nothing happens. But when you do right, guess what? Good things happen.